change or something. I just got talking to EMS. They elect their own. So they
okay.
They get notified by the they get notified by the governor's office when there's an election, and they just basically put an interest. They tell everybody else, "Hey, I'm interested in being the EMS chief. This is my goal for EMS." And then after a certain amount of time, they all vote internally, like all EMS vote. So I'm guessing all 5 of us marshals are going to be able to vote on our director.
Holy shit!
Which, I mean, I like that idea to start. Because we can get ourselves off the ground running at first. I don't like it for long term, just because, like I said, it can create a foundation where they establish Good Old Boys Club, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen. But it's a good start. It's a good start indeed.
I agree. That's interesting. I did not know that about EMS. I was definitely led to believe something else.
Yeah, I just went over and talked to him and got it from the acting chief.
Oh shit! All right, how's everything else?
Things are going. It's a process. I mean, we're trying to keep morale steady. DOC's freaking out. Obviously, they're flipping the fuck out. UE's in panic mode because they got the same notice. And I'm not sure UE can handle the pressure of being warden.
Oh no, wait! Gary did some dumb shit, didn't he?
What do you mean?
Didn't someone told me, didn't he do something, or was he thinking about doing it?
Well, Gary always does dumb shit.
Well, I mean, with the building.
Yeah, he tried to. Well, okay, so they're making money for. Come to find out, DOC made a contract with the Furniture Hub, and they've been using the free slave labor from the. Huh?
Oh, Furniture Hub. Okay.
Yeah, Furniture Hub. Furniture Hub has a contract with DOC where they use the lifers to harvest wood and craft furniture, and they give the furniture to Furniture Hub, and then Furniture Hub sells it for profit.
Wait! Shut up.
Not even kidding.
What do you mean? Wait.
Yeah. So Furniture Hub hasn't been paying for any of their supplies, and we found out about this because we were investigating that once the whole UE Gary exchange happened and Gary refused to hand over the warehouse. We found out there was a business tied to it, and we put a temporary injunction, or what is it? A
Furniture Hub isn't even a business in Los Santos. There's a furniture shop.
It's the one that's next to the Materials Hub, across the street from the what's it called, the Vanilla Unicorn.
That doesn't exist. There's no business license.
The one that's like the oldest thing in Los Santos.
No, that's the Material Hub.
It's like God, what is his name? It's something Turner.
Who owns it?
Fuck, I need to find it.
Are you sure you don't mean Lumber Company?
Maybe it might be Lumber Company.
Maybe
it might be Lumber Co.
Okay,
but they sell furniture.
Okay.
They have their huge display inside the warehouse. Yeah, I think it is Lumber Co.
Gotcha. Okay.
But they
like Wyatt Jones.
We found out. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Wyatt Jones.
Lumber Company. Yep.
So we found out about this because Gary was refusing to hand over the warehouse, the Lifer warehouse, and then we did some research into it and found there was a business tied to it, and so we put a temporary restraining order on the business to conduct business and to interact with lifers. And then the very next day, we had some pending furniture orders for the observatory.
Yeah.
And the very next day, Lumber Co. sent us a notice due to unforeseen circumstances involving the production line of our products. We were going to be unable to fulfill any orders for the near future. indicating that they were
What?
literally making all of their products were being made by lifers, and they were making a profit off of it. They don't even have an internal workforce anymore. They're literally just using lifers as their workforce.
Oh my God, brother.
Which is one thing if it's not for profit, but when it's for profit, that's a concern. Like if it was a not for profit thing and they literally break even and they're producing things for the city,
Isn't that human
who cares,
trafficking?
right? Yeah, it's quite literally human trafficking. It's also embezzlement, because technically the prisoners are assets that belong to the state as part of an engagement agreement between other states that we transfer in and hold them. And that's just extra funding. One of the big industries that we delve in down here: prisons, weapons, medical, sex, and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so prisons, we make a decent money for housing lifers from other states. And so those are government assets. So it's literally embezzlement is using using the state's assets for your personal gain.
He's still DOC though, right, Gary?
Yeah.
So reasonably, he's probably going to get voted in, which is good. I think Gary. Yeah.
I don't have a finger on the pulse of DOC because
Yep.
all their previous wardens have been elected by justices
Yep.
who don't have a fucking clue about the culture of DOC.
I need
and like
to
I know,
fly out
when Gary got elected in, nobody was happy.
Um,
and then when Yui got selected, nobody was happy. So I honestly have no fucking clue who is going to be chosen for DOC because I don't know their culture at all. To be honest with you, I don't have a finger on the pulse of that culture whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think Marshall Ray Lee would have a better idea than I would.
Well,
because he goes out there and talks to him all the time. But God, where did we even get on that one from?
The voting, because
we're talking about the voting.
Yeah, I'm still sorry. Yeah. I've been multitasking. I'm still a little dumbstruck, to be honest.
On which one?
Well,
the free slave labor force.
Yeah,
or the voting.
Because I like the fact that I like the idea of prisoners, being involved. What is scary is if it's all coming in for free.
Yeah, it's basically pure profit for the DOC business owner, and that's embezzlement. If it was not for profit and the business was established as a means to support the Department of Corrections,
I think it could be for profit if they're selling, but there's a chunk that's going to the state. You know what I mean?
I mean, okay, so
it goes to commissary.
The trick on how,
it goes to.
The trick on how not for profit works, right?
Oh yeah.
Where you have to account for every dollar and where it goes and all that. But
it's like the Greyhound industry.
The profit.
Do you know about this?
Yeah, the profit means it can't just go for sheer profit to the business.
Right.
However, if your business is making $1 million a month, and you're like, you can literally go, yeah, my salary is $800,000 a month because of the logistics needs and everything. I have to manage all this stuff. And as long as you can justify a ridiculously high salary, and you go, oh yeah, well I also have this other business that also takes care of logistics. They supply the lumber needs for this business. I also just happen to be the owner of it, and we have a contract with this business for $200,000 a month. Well, now I'm making $1 million a month off this $1 million a month business. That's a not-for-profit industry. But if you're literally just straight up profiting for no other, like, I'm just existing here as a back end and I'm just profiting because it was my idea, that's a for-profit business.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't fully buy this either.
The funny part is, any not-for-profit business is required to lay out, have a link for all their all the way that they spend their money. And most not-for-profit businesses that are not really well liked will have like 80% of their profits go, or 80% of their spending is literally like salary payments because they're just paying themselves
Oh yeah,
like huge amounts of money.
I was watching this documentary on like greyhound racing in the United States, and now there's only 2 tracks. It used to be like 500 or something insane. And I think it's Kentucky, ? I don't know. Some place where there's only like the last remaining 2. And it's run by some guy that was like big in greyhound stuff. And what's interesting about it is like, listen, I don't know what side to lean on, right? I don't know enough about greyhound racing, like actual facts versus, you know, propaganda on either side of the spectrum. But in that documentary, if I'm going to take any of it for a semblance of fact, is that the organization that does a lot of the commercializing of Save the Greyhounds actually makes ass loads of money.
Oh yeah,
shutting from donators to shut down the racetracks, but in order to save the greyhounds, but simultaneously they don't even touch the readoption, and so they're making millions of dollars just running the organization. And they'll have videos showing like, you know, they're wearing like very, let's just call it blue collar clothes, you know what I mean? Like worn out, whatever, but they're like multi millionaires, like crack amount. So
there was I mean, I've seen several of those things. Like it actually got me looking into some of these big ones that you see get advertised all the time, and I would go and look up their spending. And it takes a while to go find their spending reports, but there was even some really notable ones that would spend like, 30% of our expenses is advertising, 50% of our expenses is salary, and less than 10% of our expenses is actually donating to the cause, for which we advertise for all the time. So it's like, for every dollar you spend, only 10 cents of it is actually going to the cause.
That is crazy. I could absolutely imagine coming up with some bullshit.
You know, when you go to a store, that's the biggest scam. When stores are like, we're trying to raise money for Red Cross. Do you want to? We have to check out, right? And like, do you want to donate $5 to Hands for Kids and stuff like that, so we can donate money to the kids foundation and stuff like that? And you're at the checkout, and you're like, just round it up for me. You know that you're not donating. You're literally just donating them a tax rebate.
Sorry, I did not know that.
Yeah, whenever you're at the little checkout lines at grocery stores and stuff like that, and they're like, "Do you want to round up to donate to Red Cross or the Children's for Hands Foundation and stuff like that?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'll donate for this good cause." You're not donating for that cause. You're donating it to the company to donate to that cause, so they can use it as a tax write-off.
Bruh.
And they go, we donated this. They go, we raised $6 million for charity from your donations last year. And they go, but all they're doing is they're going, we're taking $6 million from people and donating it to the charity so we can use it as a tax write-off. That's why I never, ever donate to those things.
Oh my God.
Because you're literally just donating to the company so they can work, so they don't have to pay taxes. That's all you're doing.
Why haven't I been doing that?
I know. But you're literally just paying for their taxes so they don't have to pay for their taxes. That's all that is.
So you're acting as though you got $5 million, but you're writing off that you donated $5 million. And now you can write off $5 million.
Yeah, you take all that money that the customers give to you for donating.
What the fuck? That is blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, that's like a lot of businesses do that. That's why it's so popular at the checkout, and that's why they push it so fucking hard. Like, if you ever worked at like one of these industries where they push the cashiers, you need to make sure you're pushing this.
The Nino Chavez Wildlife Fund,
because it's saving the company money. It's literally every penny you donate is a penny they don't have to pay in taxes at the end of the year.
I need to hang up.
I'm a big financial nerd.
Yeah.
I'm a big financial nerd.
Oh, my God. All right. Barrett, I got to go to this last meeting, then I got to head to bed.
All right.
I appreciate it.
All right. Good night.
Take care. Bye. Wait, what the fuck? Wait. Is there a maximum amount of money to write off with charities? I thought there was a max amount. $60% of your AGI, but that's still huge.